are pleased to welcome you to the Healthy Life Care channel, which primarily focuses on the health of those aged 60 and above. We want to alert you of potentially beneficial information we possess. Seniors, stopping this 15 foods before they destroyed your feet. What if the food you eat on a regular basis was covertly causing your feet to feel as if they are sleeping? This article will reveal 15 common food villains that make numbness worse, and you should be ready to be astonished by the last three disclosures. Stay here. Your well-being could turn out to be dependent on it. To get started with the list, I would appreciate it if you could tell me where you're coming from today. Leave a remark below, and if you need any clarification, please don't hesitate to ask them. You should be sure to subscribe and press the notification bell if you are interested in receiving life-changing advice, if you are serious about leading a healthy life. So let's get this party started. 1. Ice creams produced in industrial facilities. Although industrial ice creams may be a delectable pleasure, they conceal a potentially hazardous combination of processed sugars, harmful fats, and chemical additives. The manufacturing process for these items involves the use of low-quality components, which often contain significant quantities of sugar and trans fats. The presence of such components causes dramatic increases in blood sugar levels, which are then followed by inflammatory reactions that cause damage to the fragile lining of blood vessels. Because this process inhibits blood flow and deprives your extremities of oxygen, you may experience continuous tingling and numbness in your feet. Furthermore, the overuse of chemicals and preservatives in commercial ice creams exacerbates systemic inflammation. The repeated exposure to these toxins not only causes circulation to become impaired, but it also eventually causes damage to the neurons in the periphery. The chilly temperature of ice cream may even create a temporary constriction of the blood vessels, which further decreases the amount of critical nutrients that are delivered to the nerve tissues. The continuous stress that you are experiencing on your cardiovascular system may, over time, dramatically deteriorate your health. If you are seeking a healthy option, you may want to think about producing your own ice cream at home by utilizing natural sweeteners, naturally occurring fruits, and low-fat yogurt. In this manner, you will be able to indulge in a refreshing pleasure without jeopardizing the health of your nerves or circulation. Leave a comment with the phrase "cool choice" if you are prepared to replace commercially produced ice creams with handmade sweets that are more beneficial to healthy circulation. 2. Whether they are ordinary or diet sodas, sodas are infamous for the detrimental effects they have on circulation and nerve function inside the body. Typical sodas include a high concentration of sweets, which may lead to sudden rises in blood glucose levels. These beverages can also induce inflammation, which can cause damage to the walls of your blood vessels. Diet drinks have no sugar, but do have artificial sweeteners and chemicals that affect nerve transmission and blood flow to the foot where they are consumed. In addition to further upsetting the pH balance of your body, the acidity that is naturally present in sodas may also lead to dehydration. Dehydration thickens your blood, making it harder for oxygen and nutrients to reach your peripheral nerves. Studies have shown that drinking an excessive amount of soda is associated with an increased risk of metabolic syndrome and peripheral neuropathy. Both of these conditions are characterized by persistent tingling in the limbs. Substituting sodas with water, herbal teas, or organically flavored sparkling water can significantly improve the condition. A simple switch to these healthy drinks helps increase hydration and contributes to the maintenance of smoother and more efficient circulation, which in turn helps alleviate the tingling feeling. Make a comment with the phrase "sip smart" if you are prepared to eliminate soda from your diet and choose beverages that will revive and refresh your circulation. 3. Although beer is often consumed in social settings, the effects it has on circulation and nerve health may be highly damaging. Because of the alcohol content in beer, normal vascular function is disrupted, which results in the first dilation of blood vessels followed by those that become constricted. Your feet will feel heavy, bloated, and tingling over time as a result of this unpredictable behavior, which limits the constant flow of oxygen-rich blood to your feet. In addition, beer is a source of carbs and sugars, both of which may cause changes in blood sugar levels, which in turn can put additional strain on your circulatory system. Alcoholic neuropathy, a disease where prolonged alcohol exposure damages peripheral nerves, has been linked to regular beer consumption. This condition is characterized by the intensification of symptoms such as tingling and numbness. Additionally, the diuretic impact of beer may add to dehydration, which in turn thickens the blood and further hinders the supply of nutrients to your extremities. A perfect storm is created for those individuals who are already battling with reduced circulation as a result of these combined circumstances. It is recommended that you consider reducing the amount of beer you consume or switching to non-alcoholic alternatives such as iced herbal teas or naturally flavored sparkling water to lead a healthy lifestyle. If you are ready to reduce your consumption of beer and put more emphasis on improving your circulation to have healthier feet, comment brew break. 4. Milk chocolate. Milk chocolate, with its melt-in-your-mouth smoothness and tempting flavor, is hiding a dark secret for your circulatory system. Because of its high content of refined carbohydrates and saturated fats, it causes rapid increases in blood sugar levels, which are then followed by inflammatory cascades that cause damage to the walls of blood vessels. The inconsistency in blood flow reduces the amount of oxygen and vital nutrients that are delivered to your feet, which in turn makes the symptoms of tingling and numbness that you experience worse. Furthermore, the harmful fats included in milk chocolate cause an increase in levels of LDL cholesterol, which contributes to the accumulation of arterial plaque over time. The blood vessels become more constricted as a result of this process, which also raises the risk of peripheral neuropathy. Your feet are more susceptible to persistent pain and decreased mobility as a result of the cumulative influence of these toxic substances, which may subtly erode your vascular health. Choosing dark chocolate with a high cocoa content is the preferable option since it has less sugar and has antioxidant advantages. Dark chocolate also has a higher cocoa content. To satiate your desires for sweets without jeopardizing the health of your nerves, you need to consume them in moderation. Consider choosing a more intelligent, heart-friendly, and circulation-protecting chocolate option. 5. Hamburgers that have been processed. Processed hamburgers, while convenient for dinner, are laden with trans fats, saturated fats, and even chemical additives. The presence of these components causes persistent inflammation, which in turn hinders blood circulation and places an excessive amount of stress on peripheral nerves. As a result of the high salt content of these hamburgers, fluid retention is further exacerbated, which results in feet that are bloated and heavy and where blood flow is hindered. Because of the detrimental fats that are included in processed hamburgers, the levels of dangerous cholesterol are increased, while the levels of beneficial HDL cholesterol are decreased. This process creates the conditions for the accumulation of arterial plaque. This decreased circulation reduces the amount of oxygen and nutrients that are delivered to your nerves, which in turn makes the feelings of tingling and numbness more severe. It has been shown again and again via research that diets that are heavy in these fats are strongly associated with poor vascular health as well as an elevated risk of neuropathy. It is possible to minimize the quantity of salt and harmful fats that you consume by switching to homemade burgers that are cooked with lean meats and fresh veggies. The change will result in a significant improvement in blood flow. Leave a comment with the phrase burger break if you are prepared to give up manufactured hamburgers and provide your body with alternatives that are healthier and more homemade. 6. Bacon. Bacon is well known for its savory and smoky taste, but the high quantities of saturated fats and salt that it contains may have a negative impact on your respiratory system and circulation. The high sodium content of bacon causes your body to retain water, which in turn causes your blood pressure to rise and your blood vessels to become more constricted. In the meanwhile, saturated fats are a contributor to a rise in LDL cholesterol, which is a kind of cholesterol that causes arteries to get clogged and reduces blood flow to the extremities. The combination of harmful fats and high salt consumption puts a significant amount of strain on your circulatory system, resulting in your feet not receiving the oxygen and nutrients they need. As a consequence, poor circulation is a significant contributor to the chronic tingling and numbness that a considerable number of individuals find themselves experiencing. These kinds of food decisions may hasten the damage to nerves and, over time, contribute to symptoms that are more severe. The intake of bacon should be reduced, and leaner protein alternatives, such as turkey bacon or equivalents derived from plants, should be used instead. These alternatives will help preserve your nerves and lead to improved circulation. If you are ready to reduce your intake of bacon and choose choices that are healthy for your heart, you should comment "buy bacon" to encourage improved nerve function. 7. There is a hidden nutritional cost associated with frozen pizzas, although they are a quick and comforting convenience meal. The majority of the time, they are laden with refined flours, saturated fats, and a high salt content, all of which work together to negatively impact blood flow. Both the processed cheese and the dough add an excessive amount of salt and harmful fats, which cause your body to retain fluid and limit circulation to your feet, which in turn makes the numbness in your feet better. Moreover, the preservatives and chemical additives that are included in frozen pizzas are known to cause chronic inflammation, which in turn causes additional nerve damage over time. Your circulatory system may see a visible reduction in nerve function as a result of these recurrent assaults, which may cause your feet to feel continuously heavy and tingling. Additionally, if this phenomenon is not handled, it may pave the way for vascular issues that may persist over time. To make pizza at home with whole wheat dough, fresh veggies, and low-fat cheese is a healthier option than ordering pizza from a restaurant. This method lets you control your salt and fat intake and improves vascular health. Leave a comment with the phrase "pizza pivot" if you are prepared to level up your pizza game by including homemade choices that are beneficial to your circulation. 8. Instant soups. Although instant soups are a convenient way to prepare a warm dinner in a short amount of time, they include a significant amount of salt and are loaded with chemical additives. These soups include an excessive amount of salt, which causes your body to retain water, which in turn causes your blood pressure to rise and your extremities to become prone to swelling. You may experience tingling and numbness in your feet as a result of this change in fluid balance, which interferes with the delicate microcirculation that is important for proper nerve activity. Furthermore, the preservatives and artificial flavors that are included in quick soups cause low-grade inflammation throughout your body, which further damages the blood vessels that feed your feet. Several studies have shown a connection between diets rich in salt and the exacerbation of symptoms associated with peripheral neuropathy. Such evidence underscores the importance of avoiding processed foods like these soups. Over the course of time, this persistent inflammatory condition may gradually deteriorate nerve health. Making your own soup using fresh, natural ingredients and broths that are low in salt is a far better choice than purchasing pre-made soup. In this way, you are able to exercise control over the amount of salt and additives in your meals, so ensuring that they promote good circulation and nerve function. Leave a comment with the word "soup swap" if you are prepared to replace quick soups with homemade dishes that will feed your nerves and keep your circulation clean. 9. Cake mixes and ready-made cakes. Although ready-made cakes and cake mixes offer immediate gratification, they often include a high concentration of processed sugars, hydrogenated fats, and artificial ingredients. The presence of these components causes dramatic increases in blood sugar and insulin levels, leading to damage to the walls of blood vessels and promoting chronic inflammation, a significant factor in impaired circulation. These items are calorie sources that lack fiber and nutrition. The hydrogenated fats included in these baked products contribute to an increase in levels of bad cholesterol, which in turn leads to the accumulation of plaque and a reduction in blood flow over time. In addition to making the numbness in your feet even more severe, the process also raises the possibility of developing cardiovascular issues in the long run. Consuming these unhealthy delights on a regular basis can progressively lower your nerve health, which will result in feelings that are experienced on a daily basis, such as tingling being more noticeable. If you make your own baked goods using whole grains, natural sugars, and healthy fats, you will be able to enjoy delights without the negative side effects that are associated with eating them. In this manner, you will be able to satiate your desires for sweets while simultaneously safeguarding your nerves and circulation. Please leave a comment with the phrase "cake reboot" if you are prepared to change your behaviors about desserts and choose handmade treats that promote healthy nerve activity. 10. Industrial French fries. Even though they have an enticing crunch, industrial French fries are a common indulgence at fast food restaurants. However, consuming them poses a significant risk to your circulation. They are deep fried in oils of poor quality, which results in the production of high quantities of trans fats, which are known to cause inflammation throughout the body and lead to the creation of arterial plaque. These fries are seasoned with an excessive amount of salt, which causes fluid retention, which in turn causes your feet to swell and intensifies the sense of numbness. Based on the findings of many studies, diets that are rich in trans fats have been associated with decreased blood flow as well as an increased risk of peripheral neuropathy. The intake of such unhealthy fries on a regular basis may cause steady and gradual harm to your cardiovascular system, which will result in your feet being deprived of the oxygen and nutrients they need. The insufficient circulation leads to a chain reaction of nerve problems, which express themselves as a continuous tingling sensation and pain. If you want to make your fries healthy, you might try baking them or air frying them with a small amount of oil and natural spices. This strategy allows you to fulfill your need for a delicious crunch while simultaneously reducing the amount of unhealthy fats and salt that you consume throughout your diet. Include the phrase fries fresh in your comment if you are prepared to reimagine your fry fix and protect your circulation by adopting a more nutritious approach. 11. Although they are enticing due to their vibrant colors and sugary flavor, candies and processed sweets are laden with refined sugars and artificial chemicals that are detrimental to the health of your nerves and circulatory system. The rapid spikes in blood sugar that are induced by these treats lead to inflammatory cascades that damage tiny blood vessels, which in turn compromise the flow of oxygen and nutrients to your foot. Consequently, this makes the tingling and numbness feelings that you are experiencing much more severe. In addition, the chemical additives that are included in these sweets cause persistent low-level inflammation, which not only weakens the integrity of your blood vessels, but also inhibits the function of your nerves over time. These sugary pleasures may cumulatively accelerate the degradation of your peripheral nerves, potentially leading to chronic pain. According to the findings of one piece of research, reducing one's consumption of refined sugar is essential for preserving optimal circulation and nerve function. Fresh fruit, a tiny piece of dark chocolate with a high cocoa content, or handmade sweets prepared with natural sweeteners are all viable options for satisfying your want for something sweet in a manner that is better for your health. Please leave a comment with the phrase "sweet shift" if you are prepared to give up processed sweets and choose instead natural delights that are beneficial to your nerves and blood flow. 12 breads that are white and refined. Although white and refined breads may be a mainstay in many diets, the fact that they have a high glycemic index and a low fiber content makes them troublesome for circulation. As a result of the use of refined flours, which are devoid of the natural fiber that is present in whole grains, these breads are responsible for creating quick rises in both blood sugar and insulin levels. This spike encourages the accumulation of fat and results in chronic inflammation, which impedes the flow of blood to the limbs and makes numbness worse. Due to the absence of fiber in refined breads, your body is able to convert these carbs into sugar in a short amount of time, which may cause your system to get overwhelmed and hinder the delivery of nutrients. It is possible that such processing may, over time, cause damage to the fragile blood vessels, which will result in decreased circulation and an increased risk of peripheral neuropathy. Throughout the day, your feet will feel heavy, bloated, and tingling as a result of the cumulative impact of these surges. Alternately, substituting refined breads with whole grain alternatives that are high in fiber may assist in maintaining stable blood sugar levels and enhancing circulation. Because the additional fiber is beneficial to digestive health, switching to this diet is a vital step toward achieving overall wellness. If you are ready to update your carbohydrate choices to get smoother blood flow and healthier extremities, leave a comment with the phrase, "bread better." 13. Although spinach is often hailed as a superfood, it might be a concealed danger for those who have circulation that is particularly sensitive. Spinach, although abundant in vitamins and minerals, is composed of a significant quantity of oxalates, which are chemicals that have the ability to combine with calcium and form crystals in some individuals. These oxalates might disrupt blood flow and lead to fluid retention in the feet, which in turn makes tingling and numbness in the feet even more severe. The presence of oxalate in spinach might be especially harmful for those who already have problems with their kidneys or circulatory system. Further aggravating the situation is the fact that spinach has a high amount of vitamin K, which may cause it to interact negatively with drugs that thin the blood. In spite of the many nutritional advantages that spinach offers, it may be a source of nerve irritation and poor circulation for some individuals due to its high vitamin K content and potential interaction with blood-thinning drugs. If you think spinach is worsening your symptoms, consider eating less or switching to lower oxalate greens like kale or arugula. Please leave a comment with the phrase spinach swap if you are prepared to reconsider your greens to get healthy circulation. 13. It is common knowledge that broccoli has a wonderful nutritional profile, yet consuming an excessive amount of broccoli might have a severe influence on those who have circulatory sensitivity. In addition to having a high vitamin K content, this cruciferous vegetable also includes goitrogens, which are chemicals that, when consumed in big quantities, have the potential to disrupt thyroid function and blood coagulation. For some people, excessive intake may cause an imbalance that prevents proper blood flow to the extremities. This imbalance can exacerbate numbness and tingling in the upper extremities. Additionally, raw broccoli may lead to fluid retention in individuals who are susceptible to the effects of inflammation. This is because the chemicals found in raw broccoli may occasionally worsen inflammatory reactions when taken in excessive quantities. As a result of this persistent inflammation, the delicate microcirculation that is necessary for nerve health might be impaired, which can lead to symptoms that get more severe over time. In most cases, broccoli continues to be a helpful food. However, if you find that your symptoms worsen after eating a meal that contains a lot of broccoli, it may be time to alter the amount of broccoli you consume. It is important to experiment with different techniques of cooking. For example, roasting or gently steaming broccoli may frequently reduce some of the possible negative effects of the vegetable while still delivering the necessary nutrients. Comment: broccoli balance if you are prepared to maximize the amount of vegetables you consume to improve your health. 15th, Swiss chard. Swiss chard is often marketed as a nutrient-dense leafy green. Nevertheless, the high oxalate level of Swiss chard might be troublesome for those who are prone to experiencing numbness in the feet. Tiny crystals form when calcium binds with oxalates. These crystals have the potential to impede blood flow and put stress on your kidneys. In addition, Swiss chard is loaded with vitamin K, which when consumed in excessive quantities, may disrupt the process of blood clotting and make circulation more difficult for those who are already susceptible to these effects. It is possible that the buildup of oxalates and vitamin K in Swiss chard might result in fluid retention and subsequent swelling in your extremities, which would make the feeling of numbness even more intense. Although this vegetable is rich in nutrients and advantageous in a variety of settings, it might be a double-edged sword if your circulatory system is already damaged. This consequence is especially worrisome for elderly people or those who already have circulation problems that are present. You should consume a healthy dose of Swiss chard in moderation. If you want to lower your oxalate levels, you could try reducing the amount of food you consume or choosing prepared alternatives. By rotating with various types of greens, you may help reduce the risk of any possible harmful effects while still reaping the advantages of beneficial nutrition. If you are ready to reevaluate your greens in order to improve your circulation, leave a comment with the phrase chard check. When you have a greater awareness of these unseen enemies in your diet, you will be able to make more educated decisions that will help improve your circulation and nerve health. Adjustments to your diet, even if they are quite small, may have a big influence on your general health, particularly with regard to the maintenance of healthy extremities. If you found these insights to be helpful, please subscribe to this channel and push the notification bell to get further recipes and health advice that is supported by research. In the comments section below, you may share your experiences or ask questions, and you can also become a member of our community that is committed to adopting better food choices to live a healthier and more active life.